SoFi has continued its breakout of this descending channel, and we've seen a nice break out of this overall range. And we see price really start to build up some steam here, where buyers really pushing the stock higher. So the question is, are we getting to that $18.45 level for a retest, or is price going to encounter a roadblock? All right, guys. So on the weekly, you see that stock IPO, we got all the way to that 28, 26 level. We get back down, bang that 25 level, double top there. We continue to trend downwards after double topping. And we get in this about 2 year consolidation range, very long period of time where price isn't really doing too much. Builds up some energy, seeing this descending resistance, building that energy, then boom, right out of that. And then we get in this longer term descending channel here, guys. We see that price hits the bottom of that descending channel and then boom, all the way up. Nothing really stopping it. So it's trying to step in around that 15-ish range. You can't do it, and we continue to move higher. Really looking like we're headed towards that 1842 high there and trying to break out of this formation. So we see an obvious bottom around that $870 level. And we see that bounce from that bottom of that range. And yeah, price is really taking off, guys. Looking very good for the buyers here. As we're correcting from that pullback of that overextended run. Break out of that consolidation range. See that overextended run up. We pull pretty much all the way back from that run up. And then you see us really start to build up that energy, and buyers are really trying to push this thing higher. So guys, you're seeing price chop around here, long-term consolidation range. You see it go up into a nice overextended movement. Then you see price pull back all the way pretty much to that long-term consolidation range. And instead of going to the bottom of that range, we see price quickly correct up. And there seems to be really nothing stopping it, almost at the top of that range. So very nice price action on the weekly, guys. Definitely what you want to see as a buyer. All right, guys, now on the daily, we get a better perspective of that descending channel. We were in there since, that November, December of 2024 time period. See price really chop around, pretty volatile, guys, chopping around. Go to the top of that range, trying to hold that, going all the way to the bottom of it. And then we encounter a pretty stubborn level around that 1390 level where we've consolidated over for a little bit. Couldn't hold that. We try to get back up again. We bounce around there. We hit the top of that range. And then we get really tight, just trying to break out of that. But you see how many times we get below that level. And instead of seeing a very explosive move up, we just see buyers gain that overall control where we slowly break out of this longer term descending channel. We hold above it for a little bit, get back under it, and price gets really tight, guys, just squeezing out of it slowly. And then we see that more explosive movement out of that $1390 resistance, which is a very stubborn resistance. Chop around between that 1390 and 1480-ish range to that 1520, and then boom. Really nothing stopping it, guys. And if we get a closer look here, you see that buyers really take that control over these last few candles, guys. Just very nice price action. Beautiful wide green bar hitting that 1541 level. Sellers try to get into control. We push back under that for a day. See that beautiful move up, making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles, showing that we've fully broken out of this longer term range and we're ready for more. SoFi is definitely headed to that 1845, 1842-ish level. I really do think it's pretty unlikely we don't hit that. Sure, we could see sellers try to step in here where see a little bit of selling pressure on that last candle. You can see sellers try to step in. But I think we hold higher and we get back up to that range. Maybe we don't get it in the next couple of days. But I think we are definitely due for a test of that range since we've been in this descending channel for some time. We've finally broken out very nice price action. It only makes sense that we touch the top of that range, trying to get out of that longer term range. Now, seeing in the past, we hit that $25 level pretty strongly. So if we could break out of that, we're pretty clear to this $22 resistance and then this 25. And we've really seen that buyer pressure starts to bleed in here. Volume increasing. We see kind of an ascending profile on the volume finally increasing as we make that big move up. Looking really good on the daily here, guys. I think the only way bears get that advantage is, if we tap that 1842-ish range and then we bounce off, play in this range of 16 and that 1840 level, possibly consolidate for a bit, try to get under that level. All right, guys, I'm looking at the hourly chart. We see a little bit of a better perspective how we broke through that descending channel and we get in another kind of descending range, right? Break through that long-term spot and we see a little descending price nature, but ultimately we get to squeeze out of that very slowly. No extreme explosive move. We see a nice move over that $1328 level, right? Making that nice move out of this shorter term descending range that we were in. And we consolidate higher, make another nice move up. Sellers try to push it back down under this 1390 level. Buyers claim that level as well. Now we're consolidating higher here. So we're in a stair-step fashion, and that shows that buyers are really taking control of the stock here. Once again, buyers push it up higher. We consolidate between 1480 and 1529 for some time. Sellers try to push it back lower to this consolidation range that we had here. Buyers step right back in. A little bit of back and forth, right? A little bit of back and forth here. Then buyers gain that advantage, regaining that consolidation range that they try to stay in. And then once we double bottom slightly below that 1480 level, we see a nice explosive movement up with sellers really not in the game. You see a little bit of back and forth within this picture, buyers in ultimate control, but then you see buyers take full control here with the sellers not really able to consolidate in this range. And we blow very well past that $16 psychological level, now trending at that 17, 18 level. You see a little bit of a pullback. It's always possible to see a pullback to that 16 range, but I think we hold there. I think that might be the lowest we'd go in a short-term perspective. Only thing we'd want to look out for is the past. So I'll go on the daily. Where we're at right now, a 1729 was a resistance marker in the past, so as a bear, you want to see it bounce off that, right? As we saw that movement downwards from there, retest that level, blow right past it, and that's where you see the top of this range. Once again, bounce off right around that level, and you see a drastic sell-off. As a bear, you want to see the sellers step in here right at this range. If we blow past this nicely, there wasn't much stopping us past that, 1729 point, and then test that $18.42 level, and vice versa. You want to see bears hold up here. If bears have a shot in this game, it's right here trying to push it down. And keep in mind, guys, this is a long-term cup and handle pattern on the weekly. See the cup line right there, and then we're breaking out of that range, getting above that neckline. So we have that closer resistance marker right at that level. But we also have a very long-term resistance right around that level. And that cup line's around that $16.80 level. So you see that move above there. If we get rejected here around that 1729, you can see that that would be a pivotal point to hold, guys. You want to see buyers move nicely above this since we are really trying to break out of this long-term range here. But yeah, guys, I like what I'm seeing. I'm bullish on SoFi. I think we look really good here. Buyers have obviously showed that they are trying to push the stock higher and above this formation. I think we get that move up to that $18.42 level and break out of that long-term formation once and for all. I think SoFi really has a lot of room to run after this, because after this formation, we're really kind of cleared to that $22, $25 level. So keep your eye on long-term bullish momentum with SoFi. If we can clearly break out of this range. If you guys want to see more SoFi content, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll continue to cover SoFi as well as other major tickers. Trade smart, and I'll see you guys in the next one.